Ah, I see it found some of the crystals that I told it about. Well done. So, what does it think? They don't make me look any wider, do they? I find I'm already too wide as it is. It must be the vertical pattern it put them in. Did it know to do that? It must have. I think it should find some more as soon as possible. I want to glitter from ear to ear, so to speak. It speaks. It doesn't have better things to do. That part I know, as Wilhelm often bragged about it to whomever was willing to listen to him. He claimed to have found me in the deep roads. I was in the ruins of a Tig, he said, deactivated, with my control rod not far away. No, that secretive bastard refused to tell me. I would ask and ask, but no. He used to say that one day, if I were compliant and didn't talk back at his wife, he would take me there and I could look around myself. Rotten, lying bastard. If I had his head in my hands now, I would squeeze it like a giant lemon. Squish. I think I remember a battle. It was long before, and then there was darkness. Bah, in short, no, I do not remember why I was there. It makes no difference. It was a hobby of his, scavenging. One of the reasons he traveled so much is that he was looking for entrances into the deep roads, old places the dwarves had long forgotten. And then he would sneak down and search for magical treasure, before anyone was the wiser. Indeed. He had spells that allowed him to remain hidden and move quickly, but he had no defense against the Blight and worried constantly that he would get sick. If any Darkspawn showed themselves, he fled. More often, he would have to fight other scavengers, dwarves who had become tainted. In the end, it killed him. I mean, he found me there, right? I wouldn't have had to put up with the twit, and I would be none the wiser. I don't think I was aware while I was there. Not like in the village. Or perhaps I was. Perhaps that was the dark place, and I simply couldn't see anything. How long could even I sit in the darkness and stare out at nothing, never sleeping? Oh, I do not wish to think of that. On then.
Yes? So, full of questions, are you? 'Tis the child abomination you speak of from the haunted castle? If what you seek is to remove the demon from the child without harming the child, there is a way indeed. There is a connection between the child and the demon, one which can be followed to the demon's true form within the Fade. There, the demon can be battled directly. Only a mage may enter the Fade. It requires lyrium and a group of mages to cast the ritual, neither of which we have, yes? And, had we those things, it would still fall on one mage alone to defeat the demon. No simple task, but there you have it. Yes? We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. Discuss away. Yes? So, full of questions, are you?
Yes.
Indeed.
Indeed.
You called. Speak, then. Perhaps if humans sought wisdom beyond the walls of chantries, they might find it now and then. Try looking for it. Wisdom is like breath. You need it, but no other can give you theirs. It's everywhere. In every moment of eternity, there is a chance to find it. You have only to reach for it. There is little point in pursuing this. We should move on. Very well. Then someone should release it into the wild. It is in danger of dying out. Tell that to your priests, then. They seem to think otherwise. Tell me, where is the wisdom in crying for a derelict god to save you? My people have a tale. A great Ashkari during his travels came upon a village in the desert. There he found the houses crumbling, the earth so dry and dead that the people tied themselves to each other for fear a strong wind would carry the ground out from under their feet. Nothing grew there except the bitter memory of gardens. The Ashkari stopped the first man he saw and asked what happened here. Drought came, and the world changed from prosperity to ruin, the man told him. Change it back, the Ashkari replied. The villager became angry then, believing the Ashkari mocked him, for no one could simply change the world on a whim. To which the Ashkari answered, "Then change yourself. You make your own world." Believe in whatever you like, absent creators or whimsical gods. Follow prophets or Ashkari or omens in the earth and sky. You will find wisdom only if you seek it. Hashira, we should move on. Very well. When your people join us, you'll find out. Our ships will come to these shores, and the Antam will bring this land to the Kyun. But it does no good to dwell on it. Hashira, we should move on. Very well. Then I suggest we move on. I am hardly surprised. To put it lightly, no one has a place here. Our farmers wish to be merchants. The merchants dream of being nobles, and the nobles become warriors. No one is content to be who they are. Perhaps. It's strange to be in a crowd and hear a language that is not your own, to see faces that are and aren't like yours. I miss the smells of Saharon, tea and incense and the sea. Ferelden smells of wet dogs. True. I was trying to forget that part. Shall we move on? There is interesting food here. You have a thing. It doesn't have a word in the Kunari tongue. Little baked things like bread, but sweet and crumbly. Yes, we have no such things in our lands. This should be remedied. Shall we move on? What does that accomplish? The farmer who buys a shop is never a merchant. He is always a farmer turned merchant. He carries his old life with him as a turtle carries its shell. Does it? It's also his weakness. If he stumbles and falls over, it pins him on his back. It is better to armor yourself with no more than what you need. One life, one duty. Shall we move on? Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. I am hardly surprised. Very well. As you wish.